Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the vlog. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the potential of how things will change with driverless cars. Now, if you don't think about it too long, the kind of potential you see with what Google's putting out, what Tesla's putting out, is you think driverless cars. That means I sit on the driver's seat, and I tell it where I want to go. Takes me there. Boom, easy life, right? And that is 100% totally true. That's, I think, the primary goal of driverless cars, where you sit in, type in your address, and it takes you there. But I think, to me, what really some of the most interesting aspects of it is the fact that it's not always going to be you that's going to sit down and say, okay, take me places. And how is this going to change life? Because, as I, I'm in a family right now, and, as I look around and think, wow, I'm going to be a grown-up someday, and this is stuff I'm going to be doing. And I was just kind of thinking tonight, is it? A lot of this stuff that is kind of like, you're in charge of a family. This is some of the stuff you do. Is that really going to be a real job title? Is that going to be a real thing you have to do? By the time I'm an adult. I don't know, it's really interesting to think about. Number one, the fact that you don't have to be there. Your car can go drive itself without you. And that's potential for, parents are making, right now my mom's week literally looks like she gets home from work and she spends the entire afternoon, 5 days a week, just taking me and my brothers and I places. I hope that I said that right. Because, we're all three different people doing three different random things. And she's just, all of her time is dedicated, especially some days are worse, on just taking us places. And I'm assuming you would think technology, when technology gets to the point where you type in an address of where you want to go, I wouldn't think it'll take too long for the technology to further advance to where you create a schedule for where your car is going to go. And how crazy would that be for not only parents could work longer, but parents could come home and be able to stay home. Like, you put in your schedule to your car, and I'm sure you'll be able to control it wirelessly from an app. That's kind of given. Wait as I tie my shoe, even though I'm about to take it off after I finish this, but I'm an intelligent person. Kind of the idea of okay, take him there, take her there, take him there, and you punch it in, and then 3:30 comes, 3:30, so, or let's say 4 o'clock, someone has to be there. So 3:45, kid gets in the car, they click, they say, okay, I'm here. The car takes them there, their car comes back home, picks up, maybe the next kid has to be somewhere at 4:30, so it comes home, the next kid's waiting there, right? And, the parents are to get them ready, they just don't have to drive them. They're they come home, or the car comes home, okay, get in the car, kid just gets in the car takes the kid to where he needs to be, and then the car comes back home. I'm going camping this week in Joshua Tree. That's not next door. Well, relatively. But, it's not a 5-minute drive. We have to drive all the way out there. What would it be like? Every once in a while, when the Scouts are planning a trip, we have to deal with a situation where there's not enough adults going or not enough parents going, and it's how are we going to get there? How cool would that be? Hey, we don't have enough parents. Okay, I have an SUV. I'll send my SUV out. I'll be busy that weekend. I have some work to get done, but I'll send my SUV out. So you literally just you tell you get your car goes, picks up all the Scouts at the rendezvous point. Your car will take them out to Joshua Tree. Let's say they unload all their stuff, and then the kid whose parents own the car, whatever, he comes, tells the car, all right, we're done. And then the car will leave Joshua Tree and come all the way back home. How weird is that to think? It's one thing to imagine a car. Just imagine, okay, first of all, the idea of, being on the road, waiting in a traffic light, and you look over, it's oh, there's no one in that car. Okay. But take it a step further, what's it going to be like just imagining this car, this minivan goes, drops kids off at Joshua Tree, and then it comes all the way back into LA. It's just, there's no one there, it drives itself all the way back home. That is such an interesting thought to think about. Another thing I thought about, this is all, I was playing Legos, right? Of course, when else am I going to come up with these ideas? But you know, I'm like, I watch all these Tesla videos, and I have these cars and Legos. I'm like, hey, what the hell? They're driverless now because I can do whatever I want. And then I was kind of thinking about it, like, okay, logistically, my mom has to go pick up dinner. I can imagine there's a market that's going to be catered to as soon as the technology is available, that you order dinner and then you send your car to go and get it. How weird is that to think about? That you would you call, what's a place that would do this? I'm sure McDonald's. You don't call them. You online, you go McDonald's, you say, hey, I have Tesla Model 3, it's red, it's going to come by at 5:30, and pick up, here's my order, boom, send. And then you tell your car, 5:30, red Tesla Model 3 shows up at McDonald's. They have their service, they come out, put the stuff in the car, and then the car comes home and brings you dinner. Is that not just the most insane thing to think about? How crazy, how absolutely crazy is that? And man, we are making so much progress with autonomous cars right now. Tesla's at a point where so basically Tesla follows, I don't know how their technology's gone with stop signs and red lights. I know it's not released, but I did see a video the other day of a Tesla, with someone who works for Tesla. You know, they have a more advanced software version because, you know, and they're prepared, they're ready to take control. But they had their Tesla drive them to work, like literally wherever, Palo Alto or whatever, they're in the hills, and they told the car, and it took them down their driveway, through the neighborhood, onto the bigger streets, onto I-280, and then down into wherever Tesla they work. And then it took them, this is another thing that kind of got this train of thought going for me, is took them to the front of the park, right in front of the building. The guy gets out of the car, and then they have cameras on the car, right? And the car literally goes around the parking lot looking for a spot. How insane is that to think about? Number one, parking, we don't have to do that anymore. Woo! But, like, how weird is that your car is just out on its own. No one's in the car at all. Nothing's in the car. Just the car's out on its own, perusing the parking lot, looking for a spot. That is so weird to think about. Now, of course, you gotta logistically think, what if it doesn't find a parking spot? But is that really a problem? At this point, you think about it, like, is it really going to be that big of a deal if it has to, you know, kind of leave the parking lot and go a few blocks down and park in some random parking lot? Not really. Now, of course, that'll cause its own problem, because then you're going to have a lot of businesses complaining, like, hey, there's this convention center a few blocks down the street, and every time there's a convention, our parking lot fills up. Not because people are parking there, because it's a hell of a long walk up, and it's all uphill, but because the cars can't find a spot in the convention center, so they come down and park with it. And so that's its own problem. Surface Street you can limit, but I mean, we'll see. But ideally, you know, you park close because you don't want to walk. And when you think about it, you know, if you're gonna have a 5 minutes notice of before you need to leave, you could park your car pretty damn far away, depending on the speed of the road. You know, if you're on a boulevard going like 40 miles an hour or something, you could park your car really far down the street if it finds a parking spot really far down in some random neighborhood, and then 5 minutes before you want to leave, go on your app, you summon your car, it comes back down the street and comes and picks you up right in front. Is that I'm really excited for autonomous cars. Now, that would be the feature I'd use them for. I would use them for when I'm not in the car. I'm having so much fun with driving right now, and you all know it. My dad has said the same thing. He said, I'm not going to buy a self-driving car. Driving is so fun. Why would I want to give it up, you know? And, you know, it goes to, you know, where, like, some people sit in traffic 3 hours a day. They're probably going to want to get a self-driving car. But people like me, who at least aren't right now, maybe enjoy driving more. But, you know, traffic is not a thrilling driving experience. So, and the great thing is Tesla's already doing that, which I think is probably the most important feature in terms of when you're going to be in the car, is traffic. That's when no one wants to drive, right? And Tesla's, if you're on the freeway, Teslas can already handle stop and go. stop and go. They can drive on boulevards and streets too. You know, they're able to read the lines painted on the road, and they see where all the cars are around you. But you do have to watch, because I watched a video about this today. The Tesla's job is to, right now, with the software they have, is to follow the car in front of them. So they will just follow the car. The only problem is, you know, if there's a red light and the car in front of you is stopping at the red light, you're good. It's going to stop, and then your car's going to stop. But if you're the one getting stuck at the red light, that has to be you applying the brakes, because the Tesla cannot read lights or stop signs yet. But that is really cool to think about. That you know, I already watched a video today. This guy puts his thing on, and then he just kind of sits there, and like, he has a GoPro back here, and he's like looking at the GoPro, talking, and his Tesla's just going like, I mean, it was going like 55 miles an hour. And I did see the camera, they have out-facing cameras. The camera did read the speed limit sign, and it appeared on his screen, or at least that's what he said. His screen was out of focus, but you know, his car was following the speed limit and following the car in front of it and staying in the lines and everything. It was pretty incredible. So, but yeah, just a fun thing to think about. Where self-driving technology, that's not just like we're going on a road trip, car's going to drive itself and we can look and talk. Everyone's thought of that idea, but what about the ideas of what the car can do without you? You know, you need to run errands, you know, you don't have to maybe get delivery anymore if your car can go get it for you, or your car can go pick up your kids. You know, maybe you're working late and your car can go do all this stuff for you. Just go pick up your kids, pick up your dinner, pick up anything. Yeah, just a really, really fun thing to think about. Daniel built a car wash. Like, imagine that. You're like, hey, this thing's dirty. Imagine that. You just tell your car to go wash itself. You type it in, and the car will go down to Costco or whatever and wait in line and then get itself washed and then come back to you nice and clean. Like, oh my goodness. I'm really excited for the future. I really am. And, I mean, I'm not going to be, let's see, I guess I'm technically an adult in, 2 years, but, well, anyways, I'm not going to be out of college until, for 6 years, so, I think self-driving technology is going to come a very long ways, in the next 6 years, because it's already coming along pretty fast right now, but, I've seen some of the goals that they really want to get this stuff out on the road really quickly, so, stuff is coming. So I think by the time I'm out of college, I hopefully should be able to have my car go pick up dinner, which is super cool. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy the video, please like it. If you did not like the video, dislike it. Don't forget to share your opinion in the comment section down below. Really, tonight, guys, think about that. If you have any other weird scenarios that a car might go do on its own, or what your car might go do for you, feel free, please, to drop them. I mean, not only dinner, imagine you could go to the grocery store, like, hey, we're out of milk. No one wants to go up and get milk at 6 in the morning. Okay, maybe it's not 6 in the morning. I don't know. But, you go on your phone, type it in, then you call Vons or whatever, and you tell them, or you order Vons, and then your car goes down to Vons, and then the Vons people go put the milk in the car, and then the car comes back, and look, you have milk. I mean, hope you all enjoyed. Share your opinion in the comment section down below. Please share your opinion, any weird things that you've thought of tonight, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.